Hi, I'm Sophie and welcome to my world. Today I have an amazing back-to-school recycled craft for you. We're going to take this water bottle and turn it into this amazing pencil carrier. I'm going to teach you how to do it right now. For this project, you will need 2 water bottles, Sharpie pen, ruler, a box cutter or X-Acto knife, a zipper, a glue gun, scissors, a work surface, and if you have it, a measuring tape. So if you have a measuring tape, you can measure around your bottle to find out what the circumference is. But in this case, I know that this is, it's a Voss water bottle, which I love these Voss water bottles, and this takes a 7.5-inch zipper. So I don't have my measuring tape for that, but I do have my 7.5-inch zipper. First thing you're going to do is take off your lid. Hold on to that because you are going to need that later. And I'm going to measure, I'm going to go from right here where the edge is here. I'm going to measure down 2 inches. And I'm going to mark this with my Sharpie pen. And I want to flip it over to the other side and measure again 2 inches. So I have 2 marks here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use my duct tape to help me with the cutting. The good thing is I'm going to actually use this again. So I'm going to cut myself a piece of tape here. And I'm going to cut it right down the middle. Go ahead and pick it up. I'm going to take the end, place it right there at that 2-inch mark. And then I'm going to wrap this around, line it up with the other 2-inch mark, wrap it around all the way so that this end lines up over top at that 2-inch mark. This is going to be my cutting line, and this is why I'm going to try to make it as even as possible there. There we go. So I've got it evened out, coming around, so that I can now cut this water bottle, and that will be an even line. So I'm going to take my box cutter. Now I like the box cutters especially for this because they come out this far. So I'm going to start with it tight in just so I get that started, and then I'm going to let that box cutter part out so that I can cut all the way around. Now if you go off a little bit, that's okay, don't worry, because we're going to use our scissors. We can always trim, but try to stay as close to that line as possible, that line of duct tape. Now do watch your fingers as you're coming around here. And you're going to cut that just like that. Now I'm going to take this extra piece of tape off. So there we go. Okay. Now I'm just going to cut along where I see that I am off. Just follow that line around. See that? Just cutting right around there. Sometimes it's hard with the box cutter to get through all those layers of plastic, and you want to make this nice and even if you can. So there you go. Now you can see I've got a nice even line. And that tape really helps me. I'm going to take this tape off and I'm going to save this for later. Now, you want to cut 2 of these so that you have 2 that are exactly the same. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our handy dandy zipper, and we're starting at the end that is not the openings. So we're going to put a little glue here and a little glue here just to get us started. Just a little bit. Now the one thing you want to do, you want to make sure that you're very careful about this because you're on the back side of the zipper. Don't get the glue on that zipper line. Okay, now I'm just going to place one end here and one end right here. There we go. And now I'm going to put a line of glue, and I'm just going to roll these guys just like that. So I'm going to put a little line of glue and a little line of glue. I'm only going to go a couple inches at a time just to make sure that I keep everything lined up. And you are going to go over a little bit, and that's okay. Just make sure that these parts, the extra part, just make sure that those two parts are on either side of your zipper. Want that little bit of extra. Just make sure it's on either side there, like that. Let this dry really, really good. In the meantime, I'm going to take those 2 pieces of tape. Remember, we had those 2 pieces of tape. One's going to go on this side, just to make sure that this stays nice and secure. I'm just going to wrap it around. Again, just make sure it's on the outside of that zipper. Go right around, all the way around. And then do the same thing on the bottom. Just give it a good rub down. And now one of the things you want to do is you want to open up the zipper and open it up so that we can add just a little layer of tape right in here that's going to be a little bit of extra strength. So I'm just going to take my tape, cut a couple little strips, lift it off. The other thing too is you can embellish as much as you'd like if you want to add some jewels to this or stickers or whatever you like. I'm just going to take this tape and I'm just going to strengthen this so that when I open it and shut it, I've got a nice hinge that isn't going to go anywhere. There we go. And I'm going to zipper it back up. See how nice and it's real nice and sturdy. And then I'm just going to add, just for a little bit of extra, just going to add a little bit of tape on the ends. So these I'm going to cut into quarters. So that would be 3 cuts that turns into 4 strips. And I'm just going to take that and put it at the bottom, just for a little extra added decor. Just wrap that around the bottom and wrap it around the top. And now all I have to do is fill it with some fabulous pencils. So I'm going to open this up and fill it with some fabulous, wonderful pencils and pens. There we go. Now you will notice that we have these pieces left over. 1, 2. Hold on to these because next week I'm going to show you how to make these into the most adorable little crayon holder you ever did see. And it's going to match perfectly with my pencil holder. And there you have it, your very own handy-dandy holder. And you can put things like paintbrushes, pencils, erasers. You could even take paper and wrap it up and put it in here. It's going to keep everything neat and tidy. For more great ideas for back to school, check us out at sophie-world.com. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe because we have new videos coming out every Wednesday and Friday. For more great stuff, check us out, sophie-world.com.